Why did it have to be you first? Mother's cold voice echoed through the silent living room. Her icy gaze fixed on my abdomen left me speechless. My name is Marian. I'm a 25-year-old housewife. My sister Tara is 3 years older than me and has always been Mother's favorite. Until the day I came home to announce my pregnancy, I had hoped my relationship with Mother would improve, even just a little. I believed that the birth of her first grandchild might help heal our long-standing conflicts. When I visited my parents' house with my husband Warner, my sister Tara was the first to greet us. Marian. It's been so long, she welcomed us with her usual cheerful smile. Father was out for work but would be back soon. Mother's face was clearly tense when she first saw me. However, as soon as she noticed Warner, she put on a fake smile. Oh my, I don't have anything prepared for your visit. Just wait a moment, she said, heading to the kitchen to bring out homemade cookies. They were all sugar-laden sweets. Mother knows I don't care for sweet things. When we announced our marriage, Warner had mentioned he liked sweets, and she remembered this, saying with exaggerated concern, "Oh, that's right, Marian doesn't like sweet things, does she?" I'm sorry, while smiling at my husband. Warner tactfully replied, "Who I'm eating with matters more to me than what I'm eating." Mother just responded with a short "I see" and sat down on the sofa. Once everyone was seated, I took a deep breath. We came today because we have something important to tell you, I began, and Mother's eyes flashed sharply for a moment. Actually, I'm pregnant. A heavy silence fell over the living room. Tara was the first to react, congratulating me with a beaming smile. Marian, congratulations. Meanwhile, Mother's expression grew increasingly dark. Warner stood up and stepped outside to take a work call. Tara headed to the kitchen to make tea. The moment I was alone with Mother, her expression changed completely. Why did it have to be you first? Mother's voice trembled with suppressed anger. Before I could answer, she continued, the first grandchild should have been Tara's. Someone like you. What happened next was completely unexpected. Mother suddenly stood up and kicked me hard in the stomach. The pain was intense, and I couldn't help but scream. Mother, stop. I heard Tara's scream. She had returned from the kitchen and witnessed Mother's assault. Marian. Warner came running in. I remained curled up on the floor, enduring the severe pain. Tara immediately called an ambulance, while Warner supported me and glared at Mother. Mother calmly started making excuses. Why are you making such a fuss? She just bumped into the dresser herself. However, Tara exploded in anger. Mom, I saw you. You kicked Marian in the stomach. As the ambulance sirens approached, I was barely maintaining consciousness. Warner held my hand, whispering, "It's okay, I'm here with you." Tara was crying while restraining Mother. What if something happens to the baby? Tara's scream echoed as the paramedics arrived. As they lifted me onto the stretcher, I could feel Mother's cold stare. In those eyes, I saw concentrated all the hatred she had directed at me over the past 25 years. Tara accompanied me during the ambulance ride to the hospital. Holding my sister's hand, I thought that perhaps it was time to finally end my relationship with Mother. Warner said he would follow in his car and saw us off. In the ambulance, Tara apologized repeatedly. "I'm so sorry, I never noticed." I realized anew how much support my sister had been to me all these years. The ambulance continued its journey to the hospital, bathed in the glow of street lights. Lying in the hospital bed, I recalled memories from my childhood. When did mother start treating Tara and me so differently? I can't remember exactly when it began, but it seems like it was before I was old enough to understand. Mother was the local beauty queen and still maintains her beautiful appearance today. Tara looks just like her, and whenever neighbors would say, "You're Patricia's daughter, aren't you?" Mother would beam with pride. But I, who took after father, was always mother's disappointing daughter. I still vividly remember one Christmas morning when I was 8 and Tara was 11. Beautifully wrapped presents were arranged under the tree. When Tara opened her box, inside was a trendy brand name dress. Mother smiled and said, "It's perfect for Tara. She is my daughter, after all." Then it was my turn. When I opened my box, inside were simple jeans and a t-shirt, probably bought on sale at Walmart. "These suit you better, Marian." At Mother's words, my young self could say nothing. It wasn't just clothes. Even food portions were different. While Mother would urge Tara, "You can eat more, can't you?" offering her homemade desserts, she would restrict my portions, saying, "Marian, if you want to maintain that figure, that should be enough, don't you think?" The gap widened even more during our teenage years. Tara was popular at school and became captain of the cheerleading squad. Mother attended every weekend game, proudly taking pictures of Tara. I joined the track team. Though my times were good, Mother never came to watch. "I'm busy" was always her excuse. Father would come sometimes and pat my head, saying, "You did well." But father was busy with work and didn't seem to notice the complex family dynamics. In high school, I gradually began to realize that my situation wasn't normal. The turning point was a conversation with my best friend Serena. "Marian, your mother is just too cruel," she said one day. I looked at her in surprise. "What do you mean?" "Well, she buys designer clothes for Tara, but for you." Serena's voice trailed off. My mother would never discriminate between her children like that. Those words made me understand for the first time that my family wasn't normal. At the same time, I knew Tara wasn't aware of my situation. My sister genuinely believed I preferred simple clothes. "Marian, you have such a good figure, you look good in anything," Tara would tell me. Sometimes she would offer to lend me her clothes, but they rarely fit, so I couldn't wear them. Mother's discriminatory treatment became especially harsh when Tara or father weren't around. When we were alone, she would attack me mercilessly. "To think I had to give birth to a child like you. Tara would have been enough. Why can't you be more like her?" Every time she threw such words at me, I felt like my very existence was being denied. But I knew crying would only invite harsher words, so I desperately held back my tears. My school friends worried about me. On my 16th birthday, Serena and others secretly threw me a party. I didn't get anything from Mother, but the cute makeup set my friends chose for me remains a precious treasure to this day. Around that time, I decided to leave home. I was determined to become independent right after graduating high school. Mother told me, "With just a high school diploma, you'll never amount to anything," but that only strengthened my resolve. Tara went to college, and Mother dipped into their savings for her tuition. "It's worth it for Tara," Mother said proudly. Meanwhile, there had never been any college funds set aside for me. But strangely enough, this unfair situation made me stronger. I maintained excellent grades in high school and worked part-time at a local diner after school. I gradually built up my savings while making plans for the future. Lying in the hospital bed, these memories flashed through my mind like a movie reel. The steady beeping of the monitor echoes in the quiet room. I'm relieved that the doctor told me my little one is safe. I'm no longer that helpless girl from back then. I swear I will never treat my child the way mother treated me. The evening sky outside the window was turning red. On the second morning in the hospital, Warner came early to visit. When I asked, "Is work okay?" he smiled and said, "You're more important." I met Warner 3 years after graduating high school. I remember those days well. Right after high school graduation, I left home. Mother sneered, "You'll be back soon enough," but I vowed never to return. Tara was busy with college and didn't seem to take my leaving home very seriously. The beginning was tough. While continuing my diner job, I also applied for clerical positions at major supermarket chains. When I mentioned I only have a high school diploma in interviews, the interviewer's expression would usually cloud over. Still, I didn't give up and interviewed at over 30 companies. The turning point came during an interview for a customer service position at an IT company. Thanks to the HR manager who said, "We value your experience and motivation more than your education," I got my first office job. That's where I met Warner, a systems engineer. Our first encounter was when he helped me with a printer problem. "You're always here from early morning until late," Warner said to me one day. I answered honestly, "I want to learn as much as I can." For someone with just a high school diploma, this job is a precious opportunity. After that, Warner began stopping by my desk occasionally. We talked over coffee during breaks, and eventually started meeting on weekends too. As my relationship with Warner deepened, I gradually began telling him about my family. The conflict with mother, my relationship with Tara, and father's indifference. When I told him everything, I feared he would distance himself from me. But Warner was different. "No one has the right to deny your life," he said, holding me tightly. For the first time, I felt safe enough to cry. The proposal came in winter of my second year at the company. After the company Christmas party, while walking through the illuminated streets, Warner got down on one knee. To his simple "Will you marry me?" I answered yes, without hesitation. I still vividly remember visiting home after 2 years to announce our engagement. Mother was initially cold, saying no decent man would want a daughter with just a high school education. But when she learned about Warner's career, her attitude changed dramatically. "Oh my, an engineer?" Mother suddenly became friendly. Her behavior made me uncomfortable, but Warner remained calm and responded sincerely to her superficial attitude. Tara was genuinely happy for me. "Marian, I'm so glad," she congratulated me with a bright smile and offered to help with the wedding preparations. Father also unusually expressed his opinion, saying, "He's a good young man." The wedding was small but heartwarming. Mother put on a smile for appearance's sake. She didn't forget to whisper in my ear at the reception, "I don't think this will work out," but I no longer had the capacity to be hurt by her words. Our new life gave me my first experience of the normal family. Warner's parents welcomed me warmly like their own daughter. My mother-in-law would always give me gentle advice when I was cooking. "Your dinners are really delicious," she would praise me with genuine words. Work was going well too. Using my customer service experience, I was even put in charge of training new employees. My high school education was no longer holding me back. About a year after marriage, I discovered I was pregnant. Warner jumped for joy and immediately told his parents. My in-laws were overjoyed and quickly brought over baby item catalogs. However, I hesitated to tell my family. If Mother found out, I knew she would say something. Still, a small part of me hoped that the baby might change my relationship with her. That hope lingered in a corner of my heart. "I'll go with you," Warner said. We contacted Tara beforehand and set the date. That day now feels like a nightmare as I lie here in this hospital bed. The faint fragrance from the bouquet Warner left in the hospital room drifts over. His words, "It's our turn now," touched my heart deeply. Regardless of mother, I have my loving husband and our baby who will arrive soon. That's a happiness no one can take away. "Ma'am, it's time for rounds," the nurse's voice brought me back to reality. As the monitor continued its quiet beeping, I let out a deep sigh. The choices ahead won't be easy. But there's no going back now. There's a small fracture in the bone, but fortunately, there's no effect on the fetus. Everyone in the hospital room breathed a sigh of relief at the doctor's words. Tara squeezed my hand tightly, and Warner nodded deeply. However, the relief didn't last long. The door opened, and Father entered with Mother. "Marion." There was clear distress in Father's voice. "Tara called us." "Is it true? Did you?" Mother maintained her usual attitude, starting to make excuses. "Oh, what are you talking about? Marion just bumped into the dresser herself." But Tara stood up. "That's enough." My sister's voice echoed through the hospital room. "I saw it. I saw you kick Marion in the stomach, Mom." The color drained from Father's face. "It can't be." At that moment, there was an unexpected visitor. The hospital's social worker. "May I speak with you?" Though the tone was gentle, there was strong determination in those eyes. Mother suddenly broke down crying. "I'm being made the villain. Everyone's ganging up on me." However, no one was moved by Mother's performance. The social worker calmly but firmly sorted out the situation. "This is clearly a case of violence. Considering the victim is pregnant, it will be treated as a more serious matter." Mother's expression froze at those words. "I can report this to the police," the social worker continued. "However, if you'd like time to discuss this as a family." Tara spoke up. "Marion, let's tell everything now." I took a deep breath. Yes, there's no need to hide anymore. It was time to talk about all the mistreatment I had endured from Mother over the past 25 years. "Dad," I began with a trembling voice. "I've been enduring this all along." And I started talking. The discriminatory treatment since childhood, the days of being looked down upon, the countless heartless words. How Mother would play the loving mother when she was with Tara, but completely change when alone with me. "Marion." Father's voice was shaking. "Why didn't you tell me before?" "I couldn't," I wiped my tears. "Mom always acted like a good mother in front of you and Tara. I thought no one would believe me." Tara covered her face with both hands. "I'm sorry, Marion. I never noticed." At this point, Mother suddenly stood up and screamed. "Is it my fault? It's because she was ugly and useless. Tara was beautiful and excellent like me, but she..." "Shut up." Father's voice cut off Mother's screams. It was the first time I'd heard my usually mild-mannered father use such a tone. "You are unfit to be a mother," Father's words were heavy. "I won't let you hurt Marion anymore." The social worker quietly began speaking. "In this situation, I recommend applying for a restraining order. Also, counseling." Mother suddenly lunged at my bed. "You ungrateful child. After I raised you." Warner and Father quickly restrained Mother. Nurses rushed in, and the hospital room was temporarily in chaos. That evening, Father announced his decision to divorce Mother. "Marion, I'm so sorry. I should have noticed." The police began investigating Mother, and a restraining order was issued. Mother went to stay with relatives, but she continued sending persistent messages saying she would never forgive me. Tara visited my hospital room every day. This time, I'll properly watch over Marion's new life. During my hospital stay, Warner's parents visited frequently. My mother-in-law would bring homemade soup and say, "You're our precious daughter." On the day of my discharge, my doctor placed a hand on my belly and said, "The baby is healthy. They'll surely grow up to be strong." As we left the hospital, the soft spring sunlight enveloped us. Warner pushed my wheelchair, with Tara and Father walking on either side. That's when I first realized this was my new family formation. Mother was gone, but for the first time, I felt the true warmth of family. Before getting into the car, Father hugged me. "From now on, let's live as true parent and child." I nodded. The long winter was over, and a new season was beginning. "Marion, just one more push." I gathered all my strength at the doctor's voice echoing through the delivery room. After 16 hours of labor, our child was finally about to be born. I can see the baby's head. Warner squeezed my hand tightly. Tara was crying while rubbing my back. Then, a strong cry filled the room. "It's a girl. She's a very healthy baby." Tears welled up in my eyes as the nurse showed me this tiny life. Her small red face, her tightly clenched fists. "Nikki," I whispered. It was the name Warner and I had chosen earlier. Father was the first to see the baby in the waiting room. "She looks just like you did when you were born," he said with tears in his eyes. 3 months have passed since then. The last contact with Mother was a voice message she sent while I was in the hospital. "I'll never forgive you. You made me lose everything." I heard she moved to another state after that. I probably won't see her again. Still, sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night, I think about her. Not with hatred or anger, but as a woman who somehow lost her way and her ability to love. "Marion, I think Nikki's awake. It's feeding time." Tara brought the baby to me. My sister moved to an apartment nearby and visits almost every day. "Hey, Marion," Tara smiled gently. "Nikki has the same colored eyes as you." Indeed, Nikki's eyes are brown like mine. But her smile is just like Warner's. Father recently decided to take early retirement. His reason was, "I want to watch my granddaughter grow up." He comes every weekend to check on Nikki and holds her for hours. "Marion," Father said to me one day with a serious expression. "You've done so well. You've become a wonderful mother." Those words brought tears to my eyes. Words of approval I had longed for all these years. They had a warmth that seemed to heal all the past wounds. Warner's parents treat Nikki just like their own grandchild. My mother-in-law made hand-knitted baby clothes. "You and Nikki are our precious family." Parenting isn't easy. There are nights when we can't sleep because of crying, days when we worry about her health. But someone is always there to help during those times. "If you ever need anything, just let me know," Tara often says. There's no more pretense in my sister's words. I've started attending a support group too. I meet other mothers with complicated family relationships, and we share our experiences. We listen to each other's stories and encourage one another. There, I learned that I'm not alone. With everyone's support, I've become stronger. I was able to share my experience for the first time at a recent meeting. On the day Nikki turned 6 months old, we had a small celebration. Father, Tara, Warner's parents, and close friends were there. The room was filled with smiles and warm atmosphere. "Hey," Warner whispered to me. "Are you happy?" The setting sun through the window gently illuminated Nikki's sleeping face. Tara and father were chatting happily, while my in-laws were taking pictures. "Yes," I smiled. "Very. I won't let any dark shadows fall on this child's life. I won't repeat the mistakes mother made. I'll give Nikki unconditional love." As I made this vow, Nikki reached out her tiny hand toward me. The gesture seemed to say, "It's okay. A new morning is about to begin. Maybe this is where our real story starts." Outside the window, the spring breeze was gently swaying the trees.